Most people looking at Northwest Wichita are shopping the price range and the school district. What they don't realize until they actually get here is that Fontana checks both of those boxes and then adds things that weren't even looking for. That combination is exactly why this neighborhood comes up in almost every relocation conversation I have. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what makes Fontana different: the location, the schools, the homes, what it actually feels like to live here, and who it's a great fit for and who it may not be. I'm Mary Boswell with Reese Nichols, South Central Kansas. I've helped families buy and sell homes all across the Wichita Metro, and Northwest Wichita comes up in almost every relocation conversation I have. And today, I want to walk you through exactly why. Let's start with the thing that drives more families to this part of town than anything else: the schools. For most families I work with, the home search doesn't actually start with the house. It starts with the schools. And that is the number one reason Fontana keeps coming up, because it sits inside the Maize School District, which is USD 266. Maize is one of the most consistently well-regarded public school districts in all of Kansas. It carries an A- overall rating on niche, consistently ranks at the top of statewide categories, and test scores in both reading and math consistently outperform Kansas averages. But what families tell me matters most once they actually move here isn't the rankings on paper, it's the culture. Teachers know their students, parents are engaged, and it feels less like a large district and more like a place where your kids are actually known. Homes in Fontana are served by Maize Schools, with Maize High School as the destination for your kids as they grow up. The district also has a dedicated early childhood development center starting at age 3, giving families a clear, supported pathway all the way through graduation. When I sit down with relocating families and they start asking about schools, Maize almost always ends the conversation, and Fontana puts you right in the middle of it. Now let's talk about where Fontana actually sits, because the location is a big part of why this community works so well day to day. Fontana is located in Northwest Wichita, just west of Maize Road on 29th Street North. The first thing most people notice is how close you are to NewMarket Square, and when I say close, I mean literally 1 to 2 minutes from your front door. It is Wichita's largest outdoor shopping center, with Super Target, Best Buy, Marshalls, Ulta, Home Goods, and a wide range of restaurants from quick and casual all the way to sit-down dining. For most families living here, you rarely feel like you have to drive across town to get anything done. Groceries, dinner, a last-minute run for just about anything is all right there. That convenience becomes a real part of your daily rhythm in a way that is hard to appreciate until you have actually lived it. Quick access to K96 means getting anywhere in the metro is genuinely straightforward. Downtown Wichita is about 15 to 20 minutes away, and the east side, Andover, and the airport are all accessible without the kind of commute that starts to wear on you after a few years. And on weekends, the Sedgwick County Zoo, which is one of the best free admission zoos in the entire country, and an IMAX theater are just a short drive away. For families with young kids, having that kind of entertainment this close to home is something you end up using more than you expect. When you add it all up, Fontana sits in one of the most convenient pockets of Northwest Wichita, and it's close to everything you need on a Tuesday and everything you want on a Saturday. Now let's talk about what it actually feels like to live inside Fontana. The first thing most buyers notice when they drive through is that this does not feel like a community still figuring itself out. There are real families here. The amenities are all finished and being used, and that distinction matters more than people realize when choosing between an established neighborhood and one that is still half-built. The centerpiece amenity is the zero-entry pool. In the summer, it becomes a genuine gathering place for the neighborhood. Alongside that, you have a playground, stocked community lakes, and walking paths that wind throughout the entire neighborhood. Fontana has a visual character that newer flat grid subdivisions simply do not replicate. What all of this adds up to is a community that feels complete, not a work in progress. And honestly, that is one of the first things I point out when I bring buyers here for the first time. You can feel the difference the moment you drive in. Now let's talk about the homes, because this is where it all comes together. Fontana is built by Socora Homes, part of the Slauson Companies, and one of the most established real estate development organizations in the region. They have deep roots in Wichita, a long track record of quality construction, and a reputation that local real estate community knows well. The homes here are built around a clear vision of what a modern family home should look like. Typically 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, open concept main floors, quartz countertops, luxury vinyl plank flooring, large kitchen islands, walk-in pantries, and finished daylight basements. These are not starter homes, and they are not entry-level finishes. The floor plans you will see most often right now are the Weston, the Florence, and the Lockmore. Main floor square footage typically runs around 1,700 square feet, with finished basements adding another 1,000 to 2,000 square feet, putting total finished space between 2,700 and 2,900 square feet in most homes. One feature worth calling out is the no-step entry. It runs through nearly every plan and reflects a builder thinking carefully about how families actually live over time. Now let's talk about pricing. Active inventory in Fontana right now is running from $519,500 to $545,000. For a Socora-built home in the Maize School District, on a lot between 1/4 and 1/3 of an acre with fully built-out community amenities in one of the most convenient locations in Northwest Wichita, that pricing is competitive. Families relocating from Denver, Austin, Phoenix, or Seattle run that comparison, and the reaction is almost always the same. They realize that what that price point gets them in Fontana would cost them $700,000 to $800,000 or more back home. New construction, top-rated schools, a finished basement, lake views, and a real neighborhood at a price point that simply does not exist in the markets they are coming from. And for local move-up buyers who have built equity over the past several years, this is exactly the kind of step forward that makes that equity work hard. Now, before you start calling your movers, there are a few things worth knowing about Fontana before you commit. Price: this is not an entry-level community. If $519,500 stretches your budget further than feels comfortable, there are other strong communities in this market worth exploring first. Traffic? Maize Road is busy and getting busier, so you will want to factor that into your daily routine expectations. And lifestyle? This is a quiet, family-focused suburban community. If you want a walkable entertainment scene right outside your front door, this is not that. Most of that is just a short drive away in Wichita. The families who thrive here choose it intentionally, and once you have seen it in person, it is usually a very easy decision to make. So who is Fontana the right fit for? Move-up buyers ready for something bigger, newer, and in a stronger school district. Out-of-state relocators bringing equity from more expensive markets who want to see what that budget actually buys here. Families with young children who want a district that carries their kids all the way through without requiring another move. And buyers thinking long-term because the no-step designs, the established community, and the strong schools are features for 15 and 20 years from now, not just move-in day. Who is it probably not right for? Buyers whose budget sits below the $519,000 range. Buyers who want acreage or a rural feel. Or buyers who are early in their career and don't need a 5-bedroom home just yet. But if you are a growing family, relocating, moving up, or planning long-term roots, and you want one of the strongest school districts in Kansas, a move-in ready home with real finishes, in a community that already feels like a neighborhood, Fontana is worth a very serious look. So, there you have it. That is Fontana, strong schools, a location that makes daily life easier, homes built to a high standard, and a neighborhood that already feels complete. If Fontana sounds like the right move, or if you are still figuring out which part of the Wichita Metro makes the most sense for your family, that is exactly what we are here for at Reese Nichols, South Central Kansas. All of our contact information is in the description below. Call, text, or email anytime, no pressure, just a real conversation about what makes sense for you and your family. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.